my colleague Molly suggested that because I'm Buddhist boy and I'm running for a local city council race, that I address how to deal with mean people, trolls, kind of personal attacks from a Buddhist point of view. What is the Buddhist advice on that? And that's something I'm asking myself all the time. How does Buddhism advise mindfully handling ad hominem, meaning sort of personal, often anonymous or unfair attacks? One of the central tips I would say is having a network of friends and community folks who you can lean on or process with or listen to when you're going through a hard time. So I'm going to try to address both. Let's begin with a bow. So all of us, whether you're running for a local race or not, get attacked, have a hard time. Sometimes we're criticized fairly. And first of all, Buddhism would say any kind of fair criticism may be uncomfortable, but it's really important to listen to it, take it in, and learn from it. Because if our intention is to be a benefit, criticism is just as helpful as compliments. Compliments are nice, sometimes awkward, like having happy birthday sung to you. You're kind of like awkwardly standing there. But criticism is saying, oh, you should go a little more left. You should go a little more right. You should go a little more up. You should go a little more down. Or when you did that thing, you offended whomever. If it's fair, listen to it. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It could be like, oh, you shouldn't use that term. It's important to listen to that. Consider it. Try to learn more. And be willing to change your mind and grow and educate yourself. You won't always agree with everything, but if it's fair, if it's well-intentioned, listen to it. Then there's the category over here, which is like unfair, ad hominem, trolls, anonymous stuff, lies. That stuff, everyone always says, don't listen to it, brush it off. But that's really hard to do. Personally speaking, and I think it from a Shambhala or Buddhist point of view, by Shambhala, I mean the book Shambhala by Trungpa Rinpoche, Shambhala training, it's good to have a tender heart, a vulnerable heart, and a strong back. So we talk about a strong spine or a strong back or grounded feet, upright posture, good head and shoulders, La, Nian, and Lu. I've done videos or articles on all of these subjects, but at the same time, very vulnerable and open. Again, the idea is that however neurotic or messed up the criticism is, and yesterday I was accused of everything in the book anonymously on Reddit other than being an axe murderer. I think that's probably tomorrow. There's still some grain of truth or something you can learn from it. So the idea is to be open. It's a little bit like the bamboo bends instead of breaking. So the idea is that you're not rigid. You don't have to be like toxic masculinity and, confrontational about everything. You can afford to be open and listen. And because you're so open, like two open windows, you can let a powerful breeze through. In practice, that can be really hard. It sounds nice, but it's really hard. It's really painful to be dragged through the mud, particularly if it's not true. And there is a thing called defamation or slander. You can hold people legally liable for stuff. You don't just have to roll over and be all Buddhist about it. That's part of the strong spine, strong back. But generally, try to listen to even the worst craziness. If you can respond or engage in a helpful way, great. If you can't or you don't feel able to, at least try to listen to a little bit of it or all of it, take a little of it in, and then the rest, try to reject it. But that's where friends come in. That's where hikes in nature come in. That's where your cute little puppy comes in. So instead of just feeling sad or defeated or defamed or slandered, it's important to go for a walk with your puppy, or if you have a friend with a dog, get into nature, get around green things and blue sky and present moment, because the present moment I've done a video on how views can kind of are like instant enlightenment, seeing a view of mountains or an ocean, instant enlightenment. So what does instant enlightenment mean? Is it means it wakes you up out of your depression or your neurosis or you're feeling defeated or slandered. So then when you're out in public or just with one dear friend, in either case, someone says, how are you? It's important to be open, even if you're just open enough to say, grunt, even if you can't form a full sentence. It can be helpful just to express a little bit.